Well, man, it is Thursday already as we get ready for another big weekend of football with some NFL and college tonight. The high schools, a big Saturday and Sunday. It is Longshore and McKnight. That's why we're here to talk about all the big football action that is on the docket. Looking forward to it, Ben. I know you are too, because it's an early start for you on Saturday.
Yeah, a little early start for just about every college football program in the state of Alabama on Saturday. What'll you do today? What will your evening look like? Will it be ESPN for you tonight on at 6:30? North Carolina State versus Wake Forest? Listen, those are two Power Four programs that John keeps saying, oh, yeah, they are. They are Power Four programs. You can get John to sit down with a big old long legal pad and say, okay, John, here's a pen. There are how many 66 Power Four programs. Write them all down.
Okay.
John could get the first 12 of them. I mean, immediately. He couldn't write fast enough. Then he'll have to pause.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They beat Alabama. Okay. Yeah. Then the final 20 will be a struggle for him.
Oh, boy.
And that will every time include North Carolina State.
Correct.
And Wake Forest. God,
so if you
is there one more? Oh yeah, Wake Forest. Okay,
yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, and there's several others. If we played word association, I'm gonna say Wake Forest. What do you think about? I think about James Caan saying he was either going to go to Wake or Auburn.
Auburn, yeah,
in the movie
Brian's
song.
Yeah, he played Brian Piccolo, who led the nation in rushing one year for Wake Forest.
And he mentioned Wake and mentioned Auburn in the movie. Yep. So that's I think of Wake, I think of Brian Piccolo. I think Arnold Palmer, actually.
I think Arnold Palmer. That's what I was about to say. I think Arnold Palmer. North Carolina State.
I think
about Jim Valvano and the 83 championship game against Vice-Lama Jama. When Derek Wittenberg had the late air ball that Lorenzo Charles dunked, huh?
I guess if we are just narrowing it down to football, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why Arnold Palmer did. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of why I thought about Brian Piccolo, who was number 41, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
I remember that too. If I'm thinking NC State, Barry, I'm thinking of, for some reason, Alabama scheduled a home and away. And when they played up in, where is that, Raleigh? Where is NC State?
That's what it says. This is proof perfect of what I'm talking about.
They went up there, and Stallings wanted to have like a walkthrough or something, and the coach wouldn't let him on the field, and Stallings just went berserk. And that's what I remember. I don't even know what the scores were in those games. Alabama won them both, but they actually went to Raleigh, which I'm thinking, why would you do that? And the coach tried to play bully and said, no, y'all can't go out on the field. And
who do you think you are?
Yeah.
As far as football goes, Neil Brown's very first game as a Troy coach was in Raleigh against North Carolina State.
There you go.
I remember that. I could not tell you who the NC State coach was that day. And there's a lot of people that way. It wasn't Dick Sheridan.
No, it was a younger guy, I believe.
Anyway, Philip Rivers.
Young, wet behind the ear, guys. I'm going to show this Gene Stallings who's boss around here. Yeah. One of those kind of attitudes.
Yeah.
He
didn't really know the score. So you geeked up for NC State at Wake Forest tonight at 6:30, or are you going to get your kids to show you how you work your smart TV? At 7:15 tonight on Prime Video.
Yeah.
Commanders and the Packers from Lambeau.
On what now? That's on Prime, you said?
Prime Video tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think I have that.
I think that's Herb Street and Chris Fowler.
I think I've got that game. I got that channel, so I'll be able to check that out. It's more than likely, Barry, I'll be watching that over NC State at Wake. And Wake's got a small stadium. I mean, it's not a very big school either, I don't believe. Like
It
8,000
is one
students
of
or
the
something?
small. I think it is it's the smallest enrollment in the Power Four. I think in the entire Division 1A, the only school with smaller enrollment is the University of Tulsa.
Tulsa, the Golden
The
Hurricanes.
Golden Hurricane. Yeah,
Yeah,
singular.
Hurricane.
Wake is a small school. It's a beautiful school. Tim Duncan
Yeah.
went there. Chris Paul. There's not a lot otherwise. I mean, I think even they probably realized that. I got some friends in the radio team at Wake Forest, and they kind of know.
What city is that in?
It's in Winston-Salem.
Oh, yeah.
There is a town called Wake Forest, North Carolina, where the school actually began. But the R.J. Reynolds, who is the big tobacco guy, he told Wake Forest, look, if you move it to Winston-Salem, where my factories are, if you move it to Winston-Salem, I'll build you a campus. And so they did. So Wake Forest is not in Wake Forest, North Carolina.
It's news to me today. I did not realize that. Barry, our man Dennis Mitchell tells us Mike O'Kane was the coach. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, his name rings a bell, but I don't know. I mean, that may have been a while.
Yeah.
May have been a while back.
My
favorite
played at NC State. Yes, the former LA Ram quarterback.
My favorite college bumper sticker, and there have been some great ones before. Honk if you've sacked Brody. Punt Bama punt. My favorite one, Wake Forest. It mentions Wake Forest. It's not about Wake Forest. This is a UNC bumper sticker. And it said, Wake is fake, Duke is puke, but the school I hate is NC State.
Yes, I've seen that sticker as well.
Well,
that is an oldie, but Barry, you don't see good bumper stickers anymore.
Nobody has bumper stickers. Bumpers aren't made of aluminum anymore. So if you're gonna put one there, it's either gonna peel off or it's gonna take the paint off when you do finally peel it off. So I'm not a big bumper sticker guy. I got a couple of decals in my window, but that's about it. Also today is a somber day. It is the 24th anniversary of the terrorist attack on the United States. We call it 9/11 just simply because of the date. And John and I, it seems like we tell this story briefly every year about our experience with 9/11. Again, John and I have been, the first show we ever did together was on March the 19th, 1997. I don't know why I remember that. March 19th. So I mean, it's been a while for us. We were in the studio of our radio station, third floor, downtown Montgomery, doing the show, and it was near the end of the show. And
now I can tell you exactly what it was, Barry. It was about 10 till 8, because I'll never forget somebody called in and said, are y'all watching, to the Today Show or something? And of course, we had it on ESPN. We had it on Sports Center in the studio.
On our little plastic fantastic TV. It was Randy Rowe. It was Mr. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Who said, hey, you guys need to tune to the news. Something's happening. And we tuned to the news. We're still on the air.
Yeah.
But we tuned to the news. And a plane had hit the World Trade Center. Holy smokes, what's going on? And we were watching that. And as we're watching and we're on the air, all of a sudden, another plane hits the second tower. And which absolutely immediately rules out that, hey, that was just an accident. This was a contrived attack upon the United States. And we held it together. We kept the show on the air. And then, of course, you heard the news about the Pentagon and the attack, ostensibly on the White House, that ended up crashing in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And I spent the rest of the day giving updates on a couple of the other stations, news updates, and helping to answer phones. There was a prayer vigil. John was around, and it was surreal. And it was 24 years ago, John. And in a lot of ways, things have really never been the same in the United States.
Well, they haven't. And there again, Barry, I specifically remember what time it was. It was around 7:50 in the morning. We'd been on there about 50 minutes. And
in those days, we were on the air until 9. Later on, we were on the air until 10. So we had about an hour.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think we had, because we used to come on from 6 to 9, and I don't know if we'd made the 7 to 10 flip, or I don't know how, but I do remember the time of day, turning it over and watching it in disbelief. And really, that's all we talked about, really, for the next month.
Yeah.
It felt like, football games didn't matter. Nothing else seemed to matter. Obviously, as time went on and we needed to get back to somewhat of a normal life, people, thought and decided, we need to play baseball. We need to play football. We need to get our lives back together. We can't stop. That's what they would want us to do. But I do remember it vividly when that happened. And I remember a lot of things have come. I've thought a lot about a lot of things over the last 24 hours. And I've thought a lot about my late wife, Jackie. I remember when that happened, she was at home. I came home, she was ironing, and I never once saw her have the look on her face like, I don't know if I want to go back and fly. She loved to be a flight attendant. She was with Delta for 15 years, but I'll never forget her walking in that house and seeing her face. And I'm thinking, this hit her hard there. So I do remember that. And Barry, it's kind of like what happened yesterday with Charlie Kirk. A lot of people might not know who he is. A lot of people do. And a lot of sports people have spoken out on his tragic death yesterday at a college in Utah, just senseless, stupid. And he leaves a wife and 2 young children, which, folks, you just don't know what that's like. And I feel so deeply for them and his entire family, but just to see the sports world speak up and talk about that. And today we're going to hear a lot about 9/11, and we need to remember what happened. We don't need to forget what happened 24 years ago.
Or explain it away or rationalize it or anything like that. The vigilance is still needed, and the care for each other. One of the things I remember was for a good little while afterwards, we were a very united country. The divisions between political parties and ethnicities dissolved a great deal, and we were all, pulling in the same direction. Didn't last, and we all know about that. But I just remember at that time just the commonality of purpose among the American people, where our differences didn't seem to make much difference. And we all were Americans, and we all had suffered a blow to some degree. John, of course, mentions his. Mine was different. Everybody's was different, but we all united in a cause to support each other and all that. And I remember that very well as a byproduct.
And I hate, Barry, that it took something like that to unite this country. And we were all together as one. It didn't matter if you were Democrat, Republican, black or white, yellow or green. It didn't matter. Everybody had come together. American flags were everywhere. Everybody had one on their house. But it is unfortunate that it took something like that to bring us together. And just over time, we slowly grew apart from one another. And I find that disturbing. And like what happened yesterday, just, hey, man, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has the freedom to express themselves, and
everybody has the freedom.
Assassinate somebody for that is just mind-boggling.
Everybody has the right to disagree with the opinions. I mean, John and I, we are paid for our opinions. We get, we have a privilege of being able to get on media and express our opinions, give our thoughts. So it is a sensitive subject for all of us anyway. But if you disagree, that is absolutely fine. I have never held it personally against anybody who disagrees with anything I've said.
Oh yeah,
I don't,
me either.
I don't know any rationalization, any reason why it should come to that in somebody's mind that that's the proper response when you disagree with something that somebody says. I'll never be able to understand that. So it is a somber day in many ways, as we remember 24 years ago today. We have, of course, a responsibility on this show to entertain and inform. And that's what we plan to do in the next hour and 45 minutes here on this program, with some sports previews with some pretty doggone good guests.
Oh, yeah. Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, in about 15 minutes. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market at the top of hour number 2. Looking forward to that. Also, Barry, on this program, there are times when, I did not know that. And one of those times is popped up. I found something out today that I did not know, and want to kind of lay it out there when we return from our first break to see if anybody else out there knew it. Where have I been? Oh.
Yeah. John would feel much better about his lack of knowledge on this particular topic if nobody else knew about that particular topic either.
They didn't know about it, so hey, no big deal.
I'm not the only one. Phew, thank goodness. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. This is Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Score big savings at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Prattville during the kickoff savings sales event. New 2025 Ram 1500s up to $21K off MSRP plus 3.9% APR for 72 months or 1.9% APR for 72 months. It's your choice. New 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokees up to $11K off MSRP. New 2025 Jeep Wranglers up to $14K off MSRP or 1.9% APR for 72 months. New 2025 Jeep Gladiators up to $13K off MSRP or 4.9% APR for 72 months. And Ram 2500s up to $14K off MSRP. Alabama and Northwest Florida's largest volume Ram dealer is in Prattville at Stivers CDJR, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs. 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and at stiverscdjr.com.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Extra, extra. The referral perks just doubled at Dixie. Now through November 30th, get $50 for you and $50 off for your friend when you refer them to Dixie. That's a $100 value. Current Dixie customers get 10% off any repair just for being loyal. Dixie Cares Plan members get an unbeatable 20% off. Plus, you can finance anything over $250. Double the rewards, double the savings.
Okay, welcome back in. About 18 minutes past the hour here on a Thursday with Longshore and McKnight. Presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. In association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News. Check us out at yellowhammernews.com. Video content. I'll write up each and every afternoon about the day's program. Also, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple iTunes. It's all there. We really appreciate it. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends and associates. We really, really appreciate it, and we certainly see the viewers and listeners increasing day in and day out, and that's what it's all about, and we appreciate you being a part of what we do. Okay, so
what did you not know? It's hard for me to imagine there is something in this great, big, wide-spinning world that you had no knowledge of? None, not a thing.
Well, I got to skip around and move from section to section, but it is Thursday morning musings. What ifs, and then we get down to
he's talking about Philip Marshall, John's favorite writer. He is the senior editor at AuburnUndercover.com. Thursday is this Coffee with Philip? Thursday morning musings.
Yeah.
Links of interest and more.
That's it. Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm on
That's
it.
We sports what ifs. We can get back to that if you'd like. Then we get into South Alabama. Okay, transfer quarterbacks, softball schedule. Who cares? Fixing games, and then I get into this section, Barry. I just did not know this.
Auburn volleyball sweeps Virginia.
Zip right past that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Auburn to wear white against South Alabama.
This is a Longshore thing. Man, I
went, what?
This is what, John, if it wasn't something about future schedules or Notre Dame, it was going to have to be something about uniforms. When the Auburn Tigers take the field on Saturday against South Alabama, Coach Hugh Freeze's team will be wearing white uniforms as part of a wear white game on the 2025 schedule. It will be the first time Auburn has worn white uniforms at home since 2008 in a win over UT Martin, and just the second time in decades, with the other coming in 2007 against Vanderbilt to honor the 50th anniversary of the 1957 national champions.
You know, I'm losing my fastball. I mean, I can tell you the season and the opponent when they brought out the orange jerseys. But the white jerseys at home, no. How did I miss that? How did I not know it was happening Saturday? I should have remembered the 08 game.
John is a uniform guy now. He won't wear a jersey or pulling around the house or watching a ball game, but he will pay attention to those.
Man.
Let's think logically here. Auburn is open-minded enough. It's a whiteout game, I guess. Auburn fans, wear your white in the stands at Jordan-Hare Stadium, and please fill it. For no reason. I mean, other than it's a wear white game. It's against South Alabama, so not a traditional rival or anything like that. If Auburn is going to break with tradition and wear white uniforms at home just because, then it follows logically that somebody in there must have the idea, that went over pretty well. We did it just off the top of our heads, and it turned out great. How about orange jerseys? What about orange
Navy helmets?
Navy helmets. Somebody in there is thinking outside the box at Auburn, and that someone, John wants his name or her name and their telephone number.
Sure.
Because John will say, well, hey, John Longshore and McKnight, hey, I saw that. I was wondering if you thought about Navy helmets. Barry and I were doing a remote one time at a Auburn and Alabama themed store, and we saw checker sets, checkerboards. Auburn was wearing Navy helmets on one side, and the other side had Auburn in white helmets. And I got to tell you, those Navy helmets look good. That's what John sees it. It's a gateway uniform.
It is. That's a good way to put it. It is a gateway uniform. I like that. Now, I'm not going to say this, but, Barry, you wear the white pants, the white jersey, maybe sport the Navy helmet. I mean, why not? What is it? You're going all white at home. You never see that at Jordan-Hare. It's been 18 years since they last did it, and they're, for some reason, doing it again this year. I like the way this is moving. I'm with you. You got to take that first little step, and then you ease in the orange jersey. You ease in the Navy helmet. Yeah, and all those old fogies and, oh, no, we don't do that here. Yeah, you do. It's 2025, folks. Let's get with the program.
What you don't do is whet John's appetite with white jerseys at a home game just because. I mean, it's homecoming at Auburn, too. I don't think anybody knew that.
Is it really? Wow,
next home game after Saturday morning is going to be a night game on October the 11th against Georgia.
Okay.
Here's what you don't do, Auburn, to John specifically. You don't come out with uniforms that have the shadow numbers.
Oh, no.
You don't come out with uniforms with the little tiger eye logo on the hip. You don't let him say, oh, boy, here we go. Now things are really going to start happening, and give him something small. Don't do that. Can you imagine the oldest continuous rivalry in the Deep South, the number 6 Bulldogs coming in? Auburn has a bit of a losing streak to them. And then in front of a raucous crowd of 87-14, Auburn coming out in orange jerseys. That place would lose their mind.
They have played Georgia with the orange jerseys on before.
Keep talking.
I think it was a 22-22 tie, if I'm not mistaken, which, of course, that moved Alabama up in the position to go to the Sugar Bowl because Georgia tied a game. Alabama had a better record. They had to thank Auburn for that tie in that game. I believe that was the score, but I do remember it ended in a tie. Orange jerseys. I'm with you. You know, why not? And yeah, you're right. Don't come out with some little subtle change like a shadow box or a tiger eye or a houndstooth collar or allegedly some houndstooth shadow inside the numbers on the jerseys. Don't give me those little gimmicks. Just jump in the deep end, head first. Let's go for it. Yep. I mean, it's just ridiculous that the baseball and the basketball and every other sport can come out in whatever uniform combination they want to play in. I mean, the baseball team at Auburn wears all navy. I think it looks pretty good. But I don't ever hear anybody say anything about it. But, oh, no, can't touch the football uniform.
Passionate about this. That 22-22 game.
Yeah.
1978.
Yeah.
In Auburn.
I was a little phantom back then.
He remembers.
I remember.
He remembers.
I do, but I think the white's cool. I mean, the home crowd doesn't see him in white. I mean, they're always on the road, and obviously, there's 10,000 Auburn fans on the road. There'll be 80,000 Saturday to see him in white. I think it's a good move. I kind of like I just didn't realize it had been that long, and there again, didn't realize they even had done it before. I mean, see, folks, that's what you learn something. You go down memory lane.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
We provide education free of charge on this. So, I mean, I had heard it. I saw it yesterday. So did anybody else know this? Yeah, I knew this. My issue with it, does anybody else even care? Obviously, as passionately as John does. Things people care about or don't care about, sometimes it doesn't resonate with me because there are things that I don't give two toots about that John absolutely loves.
Well, I think, but in your position,
people are passionate about uniforms. You don't mess with uniforms.
You probably, I guess I mean, maybe they send out a news release or something, but Troy has a different uniform every game. It seems like.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're kind of used to being the change and the difference, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, you still know who it is. The colors are. It's always the three colors that are dominant with their uniforms. In this day and age, why not? I just do. I mean, it feels like you're
stuck.
What
does the day and age have to do with it?
Driving that 57 Edsel or whatever they drove back then in Back to the Future movies. Let's get with it. I mean, freshen things up. I mean, are bell-bottom pants still in? No. Tube top still popular? No.
Pat McAfee wears one.
Let's get with in 2025 when it comes to fashion. Oh, no, you can't change the uniforms. Oh, what would Coach Bryant say? Oh, drives me insane.
Yeah. So that is a admission. John Did not know that.
I
When we
didn't
come
know it.
back on the
I didn't know
program, Jason Caldwell joins us. He's from AuburnUndercover.com. We got a lot to get with him about when Longshore McKnight continues in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Okay, back at it. 28 minutes to the top of the hour. I had to do that math real quick there in my head, Barry, to see what the time where we were on the time there. Longshore McKnight, presented by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, joining us as he does each and every Thursday during this slot. Jason, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I'm good, guys. How about y'all?
Doing well. First of all, 42-3 over Ball State on Saturday. What were the takeaways, Jason?
Yeah, I think it's just workmanlike. It's been a while since you could call Auburn wins workmanlike, but I think that's what it was. I think that's the goal Saturday as well. I mean, it's obviously much more difficult opponent. South Alabama's, to me, going to be a lot better than Ball State. Ball State was not very good. But you look at it and go, look, just take care of business. They were able to do those things. And, we were talking about it on our podcast. It's like, honestly, they've won 2 games, but I don't think they played particularly well in either. I think they played good, but I don't think they've gone out and gone, man, that's what we're looking for. I think there's still plenty to work on both sides of the ball, and that's a good spot to be in, when you've won 2 games. And so I thought there were some things that were positives, coming out of last week. Obviously, defensively, I mean, like I said, Ball State's not very good, but when you give up 68 yards of offense, you go, that's no matter who you play, that's pretty good. And then, threw the ball, spread the ball around to a bunch of different receivers, did some things there. So, yeah, and all I thought it was workmanlike, and those are the wins that you take and go, yes, move on to the next one.
Jason, what about some of the guys down the depth chart that got in the game on Saturday? Any of them catch your eye?
Yeah, I thought Omar Mapson looked good, 4 carries for 25 yards. I thought he did some good things in his short stint out there on the field. A bunch of guys on defense, and they're playing those guys early. I mean, true freshman Eric Winters from Enterprise was on the field early. Jordan Crawford was on the field early. We see Malik Autry. We saw Elijah Melendez, true freshman linebacker. We saw him earlier in the game on Saturday, and they continue to roll a bunch of those guys. At one point Saturday, they had 8 of 11 guys on the field were true freshmen on defense. So that was a little bit later in the game, but
yeah,
it's interesting because we're having this discussion this week on the show and talking about kind of what we know about teams around the country. And I said, look, we're 2 games in. I still don't know very much because you just don't know what anybody is. We'll find out more this weekend. I think we start to kind of unravel some things, but I think Auburn is in the same boat as a lot of teams. I think Auburn is really experienced and really young, and there's not a whole lot of middle ground. Now they got a few guys in there, some sophomores, but those still are, you would call them really inexperienced. I think the Auburns, Alabamas of the world, I think the middle ground players that you've been counting on in past years have gone elsewhere when they're not starting, and they see these young guys come in and go, man, I'm not beating that guy out either. So you've lost Robert Woodyards of the world don't stay around very often, and he has stuck around for Auburn, but those guys don't stick around very often anymore. So I think you're old and really young, and because of that, you have a lot of inexperience that they're throwing on the field, even though they're talented.
There wasn't a lot asked of Deuce Knight when he came in, but what was your appraisal?
Yeah, I thought it was okay, just kind of getting your feet wet, and they weren't throwing it around. They threw the ball some, but it's not like they were doing a whole lot on offense at that point in terms of showing things. I think when you saw him run the ball a little bit and do the true RPO game that's where he's going to be a standout. They were just kind of drop back passing, which is probably not his strength. I think his strength is going to be RPO game. And I thought probably to their not detriment, because they end up scoring 42 points, but they didn't have a single called quarterback run for Jackson Arnold in the game. They didn't run a whole lot of RPOs. So there's like, we're going to work on these things. When this offense is truly what it is, it's going to be a lot of quarterback run or quarterback run look RPO game. And they didn't do much of that with Deuce either. So I think, but it was good to kind of get out there and just go, okay, take a deep breath, play a little bit and kind of get that out of the way.
Coaches try to think of every scenario, try to plan out everything as the game approaches. I heard somebody bring this up earlier in the week. I didn't really think about it until they kind of laid it all out. And kind of get your thoughts as well. Obviously, last week was the first home game at night, Jordan-Hare, great fanfare, light shows, everything, a lot of fun. Then they come into this week, 2-0, early kick. Second game in a row at home, but you got to come up there early. And then you got the 2 road games in conference coming up after Saturday. To me, and as this person was describing it, kind of a letdown situation. Everything kind of seems to be in place to, have a little, maybe be a little almost flat compared to where you were last week against Ball State. And I'm sure the coaches were thinking about that, trying to make sure that psychologically, hey, let's don't get caught in this trap Saturday.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought the fans were into it. I didn't think the team was, particularly fired up Saturday. I was sitting there in the middle of the first quarter going, if this was 2 years ago, it's probably 10-7 because you weren't talented enough. I didn't think they were just over the top, crazily excited. And they played with a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. But it didn't feel like it was like, oh, we're blowing it up. We were talking about this week because people were like, you got the big games coming up. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, listen, Auburn people, they're hungry to see a team that's winning. I think it's gonna be packed. I think the energy level is gonna be really high. It should be. There's no reason it's not. And I think the same thing for players. You only get a few of these. There's nothing you haven't done anything to warrant going, we can take it easy now. Now, yeah. You're not going to play at that level every week. But like I said, I don't think this team has played at that level yet. So they've still got something to shoot for. Like I said, I just don't think they've played a game where you go, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm. How healthy is Auburn at running back?
Not very at the moment. Obviously, Damari Austin's a guy that I would guess by the time you get to Saturday that is suited up and you go, man, if we need you, you're going to play. But you'd rather not play him just to kind of get that. It is a stinger situation against Baylor, so that was what it was. Sometimes those take a couple of weeks to get the soreness out and to get that range of motion back and all that. we're not going to see Darrell Robinson. I don't know how long. There's no timetable for that one, but
what's the deal there?
So it was compartment syndrome, which is the same thing that, I don't know, probably 2000, maybe 99. I can't remember what year, but Josh Weldon, Auburn defensive lineman, had it coming back from Arkansas on a plane, and they had to do the same thing.
Wow.
So basically you get a deep, for this one is basically a deep thigh bruise, and a bruise then fills with blood to help healing. But a compartment syndrome, it kind of shuts it off, and that blood pools in a certain area and it doesn't let it out. So if you don't catch it in time, it can, we were told, and I looked it up, it can lead to paralysis. It can kill the flesh around that area. Fortunately for him, he recognized early on something was wrong. And so he gets up Sunday morning, comes in, they're able to get it done. But if it's not done in time, they have to leave the incision open, is what I understand, to continue to drain it. They did not have to do that with this. So it means it can start to heal a little quicker, but it still may be a couple of weeks. So a really unfortunate situation for a kid who's dealt for 2 years with turf toe, and he had that surgery that caused him to miss the spring, was finally healthy for the first time really in his career, and then has to deal with this. So without him, Omar Mabson, we're going to see more of, obviously, Jeremiah Cobb. And, does Alvin Henderson get touches at the end of the game? I don't know. I do think Justin Jones, walk-on, would be the third guy as of this moment because of his size, experience, and maybe his ability to pass protect. But it's a little thin this week.
Jason, earlier today, we were talking about Auburn wearing white uniform, all white in the game on Saturday. I did not realize it had happened before in 08 and 07. Now, those kind of things I remember. I don't. I like the idea. I know we talk a lot about uniforms in the offseason when things were a little slow, but where did that idea come from?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a certain place, but I think it's probably something that's been talked about maybe the last few years, because you have these games at home where you're asking fans to wear a certain color, and this is 11:45. They're asking fans to wear white, and you go, hey, maybe we ought to wear white as a uniform. Does timing, heat maybe play into it? It could. I don't know. We'll get Hugh Freeze here in a little while this afternoon to kind of find out maybe some backstory, but I have a feeling it's just because it's like, hey, it's a wear white game. Let's everybody wear white. And so, it happened. The first one was 2007 when they honored the 1957 national championship team, and they wore, the helmets had no decals on them. They wore white, and it was a plain white helmet. And so that was a game against Vandy. So that was the first one. And then they did it again the next year against Louisiana Monroe. Not UT Martin, excuse me, because the uniforms are so very similar that I can't remember if that's what it was. If like their white uniforms were exactly like Auburn's whites, and they're like, well, that could be a little confusing, but their road uniforms were orange. And so like, look, we can wear white, and Auburn's not used to throwing or looking at orange uniforms. So maybe that had a little bit to do with it.
A little bit familiar with South Alabama's personnel. They have a couple of new faces on that team that I'm not totally familiar with. What are the challenges there? You've mentioned you anticipate South Alabama bringing in a lot more talent than the fans saw last week against Ball State.
Yeah, it really starts with, offensively. Now, their defense hasn't been very good. They've played Morgan State, and Tulane is a good team, but they're giving up over 200 yards rushing a game. And so you look at them, they're not real big up front from a physical standpoint. So you look at it and go, Auburn should be able to move the football and score some points against this team. You look at the flip side and go, you're going to have to play well on defense because this is a team that can score. You look at Devin Voisin, especially wide receiver. It's a seventh-year wide receiver, and all 7 years are at South Alabama. He was 19 before COVID. Then you get a COVID year. You had a redshirt year and a medical hardship year. But when he's been healthy, he's been really good. He's already got 15 catches in 2 games this year. He has 120 career catches for 1,500 yards. So this is a guy that can make plays. Ole Miss transfer at running back that's been good. So they've got some pieces on offense, but the next highest reception total for them is 5, and it's a tight end. So hey, you got one guy that's the next highest running back total behind the starter is 11 carries in 2 games. So it is really the quarterback, the running back, and that one receiver are really the guys that you focus on, but they're pretty good.
How was the Ball State experience in terms of recruiting and visits, Jason?
I thought it went really well. When you look at it's now July is a dead month and August is a dead month. And you do that and you play on the road the first game. So this is the first time kids you've had a chance to get people back on campus in 2 months. You have 2 weeks and then you're on the road for 2 more weeks. So this is really for a 3-month stretch. You got 2 weeks to get people on campus. And so I think it was an opportunity. You had a couple guys take official visits, and you had Peyton Falzone on campus, who's your quarterback commitment from Pennsylvania, who committed without visiting. This is the first chance he's had a chance to be on campus, and so I think for him it was a really good opportunity to kind of see everything. And you had a couple other guys that were really interesting visitors. When you start talking about, kind of what you're looking forward to trying to get done on maybe the defensive line, Chris Wells. Chris is committed to South Alabama, was an official visitor. His brother Corey is a Texas defensive tackle commitment. So they took official visits at different times, but both came on trips. So in essence, they got double the official visits.
Right.
Because you're doing everything your brother's doing.
Right.
So they visited this past weekend, and I think right now you like Auburn's chances to flip both those guys. And Corey's a 4-star defensive tackle, the 6'5", 330, big physical guy. Chris Wells is more of an outside linebacker, but from Petal, Mississippi, so not too far away. So I think you look at it and think about some opportunities here for Auburn to continue just to kind of scratch in 2026 and keep moving little by little, which is kind of what we talked about. It. You win games, you'll continue to add some guys in this class, and I think they'll have a chance on both of them.
We're looking at, 2028 guys. I'm trying to do math on some of this. Some of the it's 3 years away.
Not 27, but 28.
Yeah.
No, this is those opportunities, because you'll probably load up on older guys when it's Georgia and Alabama. These are the games where you start to get, okay, this is one of our top guys in 28. Kingston Prayer is quarterback. This division. Russell was on campus. Like, he's going to be in Alabama this weekend. These are already guys that you start to go, hey, come on campus, take a look. And that's what recruiting is now, is building those relationships. And so you do that with a lot of young guys, which will probably be the case again this weekend.
There you go.
Jason, earlier this week, we were talking about, hard to believe, but after this week's games, we're 25% done with the college football season. We talked all summer about what we thought might happen. What has surprised you 2 weeks into the season? Teams that maybe a little bit better than you were expecting, and some that maybe need to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know that I even have a gauge yet, because it's so early. I always look at USF beating Boise State and then winning in Gainesville. I had questions about Florida a little bit anyway, because they finished the year strong last year, but it's not like they beat a bunch of juggernauts in doing that. So you go, okay, where are you? We're going to find out, because now you've lost to USF and you're at LSU, you're at Miami, Texas at home, and then at Texas A&M the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's tough. But I'm not certain about like LSU, because Barry, you saw it. You're like, you win at Clemson, you go, man, what a great win. And Troy goes on the road and dominates Clemson for a half.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, and that team's talented,
but they're not.
How good is Clemson?
Yeah.
That does not look like a top 5 team to me. Not right now.
Right.
So I think I have all those questions. A&M, and you go Notre Dame. how good is Notre Dame? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is the week where we start to at least learn a little bit more about some folks.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It is a big week in terms of the schedule for sure. Jason, AuburnUndercover.com, so much content, so many different media. You mentioned the podcast and all of that. Great information, great presentation all the way around. How do people access it?
Yep, check us out, AuburnUndercover.com. Our 24/7 network. Check out our YouTube page there as well. Instagram, all those things. Find us at auburnundercover.com, and looking forward to another home weekend.
Yep. Outstanding, Jason. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hi, buddy. Thank you so much. Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, joining us as he does each and every Thursday here on the program. Always appreciate his input. South Alabama. Kind of small up on that defensive front.
Yeah, they can get pushed around a little bit. Major Applewhite's the head coach. He's been a guest on this program before too. But yeah,
you're right. I do remember him. Yeah,
this is interesting here. Before we go to break, from our River Region Straw chat line, this is from Dewey Oxberger.
Yes,
love this. He says, late on this comment, but I first heard about the attack on 9/11 from you guys. I was in the car listening to you when you reported a plane hitting the World Trade Center. It's surreal, and I appreciate you you pointing that out. But that doesn't feel like 24 years ago. John, I remember sitting across from you. We had gotten the phone call. Our producer at the time had gotten the phone call and passed us notes and, hey, we need to turn it on the news, Mr. Pittsburgh says something's going on. Came out of the break and, kind of updated everybody. This is what we're seeing. This is what we're hearing and all of that. And I remember the look on your face. You were very focused. We were both shocked, but what's going on here? What's happening? And it was 24 years ago.
Unbelievable.
It does not seem the case.
You know what? And Bear, when we first started talking about it earlier this hour, the 9/11 memorial in New York, where the World Trade Centers were, is unbelievable. I've been to it. I've seen it. I've spent many hours going through it. It is unbelievable. If you're ever in New York, you got to go spend several hours and go through that. It's amazing.
Yeah. And second that. Very powerful. Stay with us. Coming up in just a little bit, Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, will be a part of the program. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All right, welcome back in a couple of minutes before the top of the hour with Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. The freshest seafood available from the Gulf of America, arriving daily each and every day. Speaking of the Gulf of America.
Yes.
I mentioned that it was on, you go to Google. It says Gulf of America on Google Maps.
All right.
Also saw something that an intercompany memorandum was sent out to pilots at Delta Airlines. It now is the Gulf of America when they're making a PA announcement about where they might be flying or where they might be going.
Right.
Wow. Now that I wouldn't have expected to see that, but that is kind of I don't know, grown roots. I didn't think that was really going to take hold, but it there again, it's on Google Maps. Companies are referring to it in that same way. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. That's what it is. It kind of makes sense. I mean, a lot of the U.S. borders the Gulf.
I understand the history and I understand politics and all that. I've studied and read about it for years and years, so I know about the concept of the executive order. Before Theodore Roosevelt, 125 years ago, you didn't have that hardly at all. But I thought you had to have more. There had to be more involved in renaming something. You know, Trump just signed a piece of paper and there it is. I'm not against it or anything. I just all of a sudden. Because now you got to change all the maps and you got to change Google and you got to change all the airline communications and stuff. And it was all just, I mean, it leads you to believe that someday there may be a Democratic president elected and he's going to change it back with executive order. We're going to have to change the maps back and Google back and all that.
It's not that complicated. It's kind of like saying, you know what? I think we won some national championships in football.
That's exactly what it's
slap
like.
them on the letterhead.
That's
Put up
exactly
a couple of flags.
What's somebody going to do, you know? And make people just like this, make people toe the line. You know, there's liberals out there that, and nothing against them, but there's liberals out there that, you know, say, hey, give me, they're driving around. They tell their car, hey, give me directions to Mobile, Alabama. And it gives you directions and it shows you the map and everything. And down at the bottom of your dashboard screen, you see Gulf of America. And that liberal driver is going, they've gotten that on us too. I don't know. Again, not political, but I mean, there's probably some people that don't like it. Cannot wait.
I mean, is somebody going to crash their car into somebody, run somebody over if they're looking at their car and the screen says Gulf of America on it? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of society we live in. It wouldn't shock me. Why'd you do it? Well, I looked on my TV screen in my car, my monitor, and it said Gulf of America. Dadgummit, I don't like it.
There are people who probably, I don't know how this would be a scenario, but there are people who probably I know families who have been rooting for Alabama for their entire lives. Kids root for Alabama, but the young man wants to be an engineer, wants to be an aerospace engineer. And you can't get an aerospace engineering degree from the University of Alabama. So they got to send him to Auburn.
No.
I say they send him to Auburn. They have the opportunity, the honor of sending him to Auburn, whatever. And so every year they're going to get mail from Auburn University. Hey, join the Auburn Ignited Fund, or hey, join Auburn Tigers Forever, or something like that. And they'll open up the letter and it says, Dear Mr. and Mrs., we're so proud that your son or daughter is a student here at Auburn. You know, we'd love to have you at Jordan-Hare Stadium to watch the Tigers as they fight for their 10th national championship.
Yes.
And they're looking at that, and then they look at the bottom of the letterhead, and it says Auburn Tigers football. National champions, 1913, 1914, 1957. And they just crumple it up and throw it away, I mean, but they got to like it, I mean, you're going to get that. It's going to say that. You better get used to that because that ain't never going away. 100 years from now, they'll still be claiming that 1914 national championship. So you can rail about it all you want. Who knows? There may be an Auburn president later on or an athlete. He says, no, we don't really need to do that. But I doubt it. Just like there will be another president who, heck, may run on the platform. I will change it back to the Gulf of Mexico and probably will get a few votes that way.
Yeah, probably will.
Change it around and around over and over again, depending on which political party is in power in the executive office.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Okay, top of the hour here on this Thursday, hour number 2. We do have some football tonight, college and NFL. One college game, NC State at Wake Forest. In the NFL, well, speaking of name changes, the Redskins. Wasn't that going on a couple of weeks ago? I don't know how that's progressing.
And he can't issue an executive order, although he has threatened to change the name back to the Redskins, the presidential, the Oval Office I'm talking about, because it's a private business, private enterprise, and all of that, and you can't make them.
I wonder if they've sent out, Barry, like a questionnaire to the season ticket holders. What name would you like? And just kind of get a feel for what the fans want. Well, let the people's voice be heard. I need to get into
John
politics.
Longshore, a man of the people.
Yes. I need to get into politics. I'll have Rodney Orr as my campaign manager. We are sure a winner. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market here in Montgomery at 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead 288-4272. Your order will be ready for pickup. The freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America arrives daily at the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Hello, Rodney. How you doing?
What's up, fellas? How are both of you this morning?
We're doing really well. Looking forward to the weekend, but first of all, got to ask you the value, anything of significance that held meaning or value to the Crimson Tide after that 73-0 win over ULM on Saturday?
Yeah, we said going in that, obviously there was going to be how much could a win over ULM excite the fans, right? I mean, get them pumped up after that disappointing performance in the opener. But, like we said, I think it was an opportunity to take a baby step. And I think if you look at that game, there were a lot of positives that came out of it. I mean, guys, I'm telling you, in the press box, just looking out over the stadium before the game, it was lifeless. I mean, it was as dead in that stadium as I can remember in a long time. And but that team came out with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and they got the fans into it. I got to give them credit. That's exactly what happened. Again, I understand it was ULM. I'm not trying to blow that out of proportion at all. I'm just saying that I think they did a fantastic job of coming out with the right mindset, taking care of business. It was an exciting style that they played. You saw a lot of really extremely talented young players. And so overall, yeah, I think there was a lot of positives from that. And it's what I call a baby step. And I think now they have an opportunity coming up against Wisconsin to take that next step. Then you get into the off week, and then you go see what happens against Georgia.
I thought it was interesting, Rodney, and certainly we talked a lot about it earlier this week. Hey, Ty Simpson, 17 of 17. You can't get any better than that. But Austin Mack comes in the game relatively early. It seemed to be predetermined they were going to go ahead and do that. Keelan Russell gets in the game as well. Your thoughts about all three of the quarterbacks in their play Saturday?
Well, obviously they knew, all three quarterbacks called together early last week and told that, hey, listen, we're going to get Austin in the game. at some point early and get him some meaningful reps. And I think DeBoer referred to them as quality reps, and I agree with him. I mean, getting a quarterback in a game fairly early like that, what if you need him at some point in another game down the line? And, now he's got a little bit of a feel to it. So, I thought, obviously, Ty responded extremely well. I thought he had a great performance. Again, I can't reiterate, I guess, enough that I understand it was La Monroe, and it was really basically, let's be honest, it wasn't a lot more than 7-on-7. I mean, he didn't have a lot of pressure, but he did a tremendous job. And then Austin Mack comes in, he completes 8 of 10 passes, has a couple of touchdown throws. And Keelan Russell showed extreme poise, I thought, for a true freshman coming in for the first time. That throw he made to Cole Adams was big time. That first touchdown pass of his, 7 TD passes. So I thought, even though, the competition, I still thought it was, all 3 quarterbacks, I thought it was a great experience for them.
And Keelan Russell, being a freshman, he wasn't even necessarily the most dynamic freshman skill position player that played in that game. Latsier Brooks, A.K. Deer, they took advantage of some opportunities, did they not, Rodney?
They really did. They really did. When you start looking at this freshman group, whether it's Michael Carroll at right tackle, I thought when he came in, he did a great job. I think he'll probably, based on some things we hear, you may see him continue to rotate in some during games. They're extremely high on him. And then at left tackle, Jackson Lloyd, the 2 tight ends, Caleb Edwards, he caught a touchdown pass from Mack. And then Marshall Pritchett had a couple of catches as well at tight end. Those are 2 really fantastic players. You mentioned Latsier Brooks, A.K. Deer, both had, some really exciting plays in the game. I think this offensive group that they have, the young players, the true freshmen, and you mentioned Keelan Russell as well. I'm not going to say it's as good as that 2017 group that we saw come in against Vanderbilt that day and then eventually basically lead Alabama to a national championship against Georgia in the second half. But it looks like it potentially could be really, really good.
Rodney, I heard some reports that last week leading up to the Ball State game that Kalen DeBoer was a little more animated in team meetings and at practice situations and things like that. Did you hear that as well?
Well, yes. Again, I don't know. Just generally speaking, John, I did hear that. I did hear that. But I will say this. I thought the way he handled himself in the post-game press conference was a little different. I thought he was a little more, I don't know what the word is. He was more stoic, I guess. He can get not animated, but, he's really, he's a great guy. He's always got a smile on his face. He was pretty stern in that post-game locker room. I mean, it was like business. I mean, totally business. They were really focused. And I thought, just looking at him, he had a different demeanor, I thought.
Wisconsin in at 11 o'clock in the morning. That is a successful Big Ten opponent coming in, and a test for this team. I think what Alabama, John, is a 3-touchdown favorite in that game. That doesn't feel right, but it seems legitimate. What do you think about the matchup itself, Rodney?
Well, I'm with you. I mean, that's a lot of points there, but. Alabama did go up there last year and beat them 42-10. Obviously things have changed a little bit, so we'll see. I still don't think we know a lot about this Alabama team. I really don't. I mean, you saw the performances; they're night and day, but against night and day competition. So how are they going to respond on a consistent basis? And what did we talk about all summer long? That's been my biggest concern probably about this team is how do you go week to week? Do you play up and down like you did last year, or do you find that consistency in performance? And that's just something we really don't know how this team's going to come out week to week. So you look at Wisconsin defensively. Now, again, their competition has not been great either. Miami of Ohio, Middle Tennessee. So I get that. But listen, they gave up 33 yards rushing in one of those games and 34 in the other. They've only given up 67 rushing yards so far. And not only do they do a good job against the run, but they're sacking the quarterback a lot. They've got like 8 sacks already. So, and contrast that to Alabama, that has 0. So, anyway, listen, we're going to find out more about Wisconsin, obviously, too.
Yeah.
I would say on the flip side of that, John and Barry, their offense, the quarterback, Danny O'Neal, it was his first start at Wisconsin. He's transferred from San Diego State. The starter was injured in the opener. So Danny O'Neal goes 23-27 for 283, 3 touchdowns, an interception. But that's the most yardage for a first-time Wisconsin starter in the history of their program. He's a guy that can move around. He's not really big. He's about 6 feet, maybe 195. He moves around, and those kind of quarterbacks have given Alabama some trouble. And again, I'm not saying he's as elusive as Pavia or maybe even Jackson Arnold down the road, but he's a guy that is got the ability to move around and throw the football. So they're really good in that regard. Now, offensively up front, their offensive line's been in a little bit of a shuffle. So we'll see.
I got to tell you, I don't watch the offensive line a lot during games. Never played that position. Let them kind of do their own thing. Maybe I should pay more attention to it. But I do understand that Caden Proctor got a lot of snaps in that game Saturday against
keep going.
I'm
ULM.
Louisiana Monroe.
Couldn't even remember who they
that
played
speaks
last
volumes right there. Yeah.
Couldn't even remember the team. But is that a sign that he needs to step it up, or just wanted to get him more reps? What is your thought about him in particular in his play on the offensive line?
Yeah, Caden Proctor, obviously, he's a guy that has been inconsistent too. I mean, frankly, given his ability. And I think they're trying to get that out of him, get that consistency in performance, play in, play out, game in, game out. And if they get that, then he's going to be a dominant player at his position. I think he did grade out among the top 5 offensive linemen in the country. I think I saw Pro Football Focus had him graded out pretty high for this game. So, hopefully he's made progress, because he's got to be a leader up front. He's a captain. This is his 3rd year as a starter. So they need that consistency from him. But, there's no question about his talent. So, we'll see. I thought overall the offensive line was, better in this game. But again, it's going to be more of a challenge this week against a Wisconsin defensive front that's been really successful so far.
Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, is it your understanding, is your intel telling you this is a significant recruiting weekend?
Well, Barry, I'm going to be very honest with you. I haven't even looked at recruit. Now, it's going to be a great recruiting weekend for basketball. I mean, they've got 3 of the top 20 national players in the country coming in this week. And they've just picked up 2 big-time commitments, obviously, over the last few days. But now, as far as football is concerned, honestly, I've been so following this team, and the way recruiting has changed. I mean, it's really not like it used to be.
Not the same.
So, I honestly haven't looked at it yet, who all's coming in this weekend, but I know that obviously you've got a lot of your guys that you have committed that come in on these weekends. Now, the one thing that may, and here's the thing, John and Barry, you guys know this, these recruiting visits, the unofficial visits for the games, they list all these players coming, and they don't always show up. And especially for an early morning game, it's an 11 a.m. game. Remember, these guys play on Friday nights.
Yeah.
I mean, for them to get up and get to Tuscaloosa, that's a really tough chore. So we'll see who all shows up. Be careful when you start reading those lists.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Rodney. Heck, I'm 61 and I don't like to get up that early to get to a game. I can't imagine what an 18-year-old's doing. All right, what about injuries? Understand, Jam Miller dressed out last week. Maybe went through warm-ups and whatnot, but do you expect to see any of these guys, Ryan Williams, that have been on the injury list to play, or do you think it's just give them a little bit longer to heal up and get ready for Georgia?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Obviously Tim Keenan is another one that's really important. We'll see there. Danny Lewis is out. I think Ryan will probably play. It's just my expectation. That's what DeBoer said yesterday. We'll see with Jam. I would say this, just in Jam's case, and again, I don't have the details of how he's feeling right now, but I would think, given his shoulder injury, just if it were me, I'd give him as long as I possibly could to get healthy, to get ready, because you're going to need him against Georgia. I think you can be okay. Listen, I think Kevin Riley's done a fantastic job. And some of the other guys, obviously, Richard Young, I thought looked a lot more physical in this last game, and he did a nice job in pass protection. Daniel Hill had some nice interior runs there. So I think you could be okay in this game. But I would probably allow him, if it were me, to kind of, get a little more healthy.
I was watching, I told John, I think it was night before last, I was watching a production they did on Jerry Duncan. Which I enjoyed pretty much. And I love football history and all that. I enjoyed your post yesterday, Rodney, at TigerInsider.com. There's a lot of these young bucks, John and I, are older now, benefit of experience. There's a lot of these younger bucks that really think quality Alabama running backs really only started with, Mark Ingram, and they've had some great ones since then. Rodney Orr sits down, writes his post yesterday, John, and says, fellas, let me tell you a little something about a guy named Major Ogilvie.
Oh, man.
Which is one of John's favorite trivia questions. What's your Major Ogilvie trivia? The only running back to score what is it, John?
Touchdown in 4 straight bowl games.
Yep. Major. John, that's funny because I actually put that in my little write-up that I had about Major.
Yeah.
And the reason I wrote that, I happened to see on Facebook, they had some video of Major Ogilvie, and I got to thinking about it back when I was just a young kid. I mean, I was probably a junior in high school, and living in Corpus Christi, Texas, you didn't get much Alabama stuff back in the 70s, right? I mean, there was no internet, people. I mean,
there was not.
And man, I didn't even know who Major was. I mean, obviously he was at Mountain Brook High School in Birmingham, and I picked up a magazine in a bookstore there and started reading about the top high school players in the country. And Major was one that stood out to me. And man, he had a great career. He was a leader, just a tremendous player. And what memories those were. The 70s, like I said, John and Barry, I mean, look, Saban had great success. Don't get me wrong. You probably can't say there was a greater period. But I'll tell you what, the feeling that you had as an Alabama fan in the 70s, it's really hard to match.
It really was. The tearaway jerseys, man.
And, that kids will from now on in football will never realize the joy of watching this kid come in. Oh, he's a freshman. We'll redshirt him, but he's got great speed. Watch him develop as a sophomore. By his junior year, he may be a starter. And by his senior year, he could be all conference and stuff. You don't get with the transfer portal and all that. You don't get that much anymore because you get to follow some of those guys back then. Hey, I remember reading about him when he was at Mountain Brook, and now, he's about to be a senior and he was everything he cracked up to be. That was valuable back then.
Just think, Barry, if Ken Donahue would have told Bo Jackson he would have started as a freshman, he could have scored 4 straight touchdowns in 4 straight bowl games.
Hey, John, let me say this about that. That's a popular story that was put out by Auburn. Was put out by Bo. And sorry for you Auburn listeners. I'm not taking a shot at Auburn, but that was put out by Auburn.
Free. No, really, go ahead. It's okay.
But Bo, I think they did a really good job of telling Bo what to say there, because Ken Donahue's son actually contacted me about that.
Oh, wow.
Because it became a real subject on Tighter Insider at one point, many years ago.
Yeah.
And his dad was always upset about that because he said he never told Bo Jackson you might start. He said his dad never promised a kid playing time, nor did he ever limit what he might do, his potential. Said he would have never done that. And that was something that always bothered his dad.
Wow.
Because that never happened. So now, did Coach Bryant say Bo, we really like you. We think you could play a lot of positions for us, perhaps be a great linebacker. That's probably true because you know what? Bo Jackson probably could have been a great
Could have been,
linebacker.
Yeah. Boy,
But
no
the other
kidding.
story, according to Ken Donahue's family, is not accurate. So whatever. But
There we
thought
I
I'd-
go.
love it. Got it
I
cleared
like
up. And it's funny, right? Well, not funny, but I mean,
Interesting.
that line of thinking has been going on since Bo arrived in Auburn. You know, allegedly this is what happened and blah, blah, blah.
Outstanding.
That is great info. That's what you get with the Tighter Insider. So, Rodney, let our viewers and listeners know how they can sign up, be a member, get all the content you've got there at Tighter Insider, TITV, so many great outlets that our viewers and listeners need to be a part of.
Right. It's TighterInsider.com. It's only $48 a year. You can get instant access with your credit card if you prefer. There is an address there to send a check. That gives you all our premium information, for example, like the story Barry alluded to. We've got some basketball reports on there. We've got a visitors preview of the basketball guys coming in this weekend, all of those types of things, but our all sports forum. It's crazy right now. I mean, but all of that and more on TighterInsider.com. And again, it's only $48 a year. And if you want to watch Tighter Insider TV, it's our statewide show that goes out every Tuesday night live from WVUA 23 in Tuscaloosa. It's there on the front page.
It's always good stuff, Rodney. Appreciate the time.
Okay, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Rodney Orr, the Tighter Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead. Your order will be ready for pickup. What about lunch today? Maybe that grilled grouper po' boy or fried shrimp po' boy, however you want it. David and his staff can hook it up for you, those fabulous sides that go along with it. 288-4272.
Trivia question, therefore, point of order about our friends at Destin Connection Seafood Market. A trivia question about Major Ogilvy's one of John's favorites. Trivia question. Now, what body of water does Destin Connection Seafood Market get shipments of fresh swordfish, cobia, yellowfin?
Gulf of America.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Gulf of America. Matter of fact, I think it says it in the store.
Okay. Big question here, and I wanted to ask you about this, but I wanted to wait until Rodney was here, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, because you said you did this last week. What is triple tail?
Oh, man, Barry, it is awesome. It is a,
is it like snapper throat, or are you pulling my leg?
Hence the name of the tail of the fish has, three tails actually on it, but it's a very light, flaky, white fish. It is really, really good. It's one of my favorites. And the late, great Bud Skinner at Jubilee Seafood had a triple tail dish on the menu that was phenomenal. It was so good. I'd get it almost every time that I went into Jubilee back in the day. But David hooked me up with it and prepared it. I was down at the beach and cooked it up over Labor Day, and it was outstanding. Of course, every time I pick up some seafood from the Destin Connection, they always say, "Hey man, make sure you tell Barry how good it was," which I always do.
He always does, and of course I pick some up myself. So you heard right. John was at the beach, but he brought the fresh fish with him from the Destin Connection.
Correct.
Market.
I don't want to be dealing with somebody down there I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Out of the back of a panel van somewhere.
Yeah, this fish was caught yesterday. Oh, snapper? Sure, this is snapper. Yeah, probably mullet for all I know. I know what I'm getting at Destin Connection. I know it was swimming the day before. And David cuts it up just like I like it. His staff, they do a great job. 3750 Norman Bridge Road, the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Now, Barry, when we come back, I know we're going to check in on the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yes, we will.
But there's some other things I want to get cleared up as well. I mean, Rodney just cleared up the Ken Donahue story.
Very good. We're here to bring you the truth.
Somebody wrote today, let you guess who it is, about a couple of scenarios with some potential coaches at some schools. I don't believe he got it all accurate and correct. And we're going to clear it up for you when we get back.
Is there anybody who can absolutely, without doubt, prove that they were at Toomer's Corner when it was supposedly rolled when Bear passed away? Anybody out there say, I'm here to tell you, it wasn't nothing going on out there.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear that. Yep.
Sure.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the river region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the river region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
Okay, back at it here on this Thursday. Want to remind everybody you need to get your picks in for Auburn, South Alabama, Alabama, and Wisconsin. If you hit the exact score of one of those two games, you will be the winner of a $500 1-carat lab-grown diamond from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. It also puts you in the running for the national championship score pick contest, where you could win a 1-carat natural cut diamond valued at $3,000. It's easy. Just go to Longshore McKnight at gmail.com. That's Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. Subject line, put score pick. Give us the scores. Hit one of them. You could be the winner. It's brought to you by Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week. They make it. They really make it. At Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. Go by and see them for all of your jewelry needs and get your picks in before those games kick on Saturday early at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Got to have them in. Don't try to get fishy with us. Pardon the pun, Dusty Connection.
Yeah.
Because we know when those emails are coming in. One entry per house, per person, per family, per household, per game. The whole deal. You know how it plays out.
It is an early day on Saturday for everybody. Troy and Memphis, ESPNU, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. At the exact same time in Tuscaloosa, Alabama hosts Wisconsin on ABC. 45 minutes later, Auburn is hosting South Alabama at 11:45 on the SEC network. What do you do Saturday afternoon? I mean, the games are over. You got maybe a couple of winners. Maybe you got a line on a diamond from Marguerite's with your pick. So by 6 o'clock or by 2:30 in the afternoon, are you going Pitt, West Virginia on ESPN? Are you going USC and Purdue on CBS?
Boring.
Are you going Georgia and Tennessee on ABC?
Probably.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the one. Why in the world do they have Oregon State at Texas Tech on Fox?
Yeah, well, they got to show something on Fox, I guess.
Speaking of football and games, there are some good ones out there. The SEC schedule, pretty good, not great, pretty good. Georgia, Tennessee, the key mark. Florida and LSU. The Gators, they and I've always been a big Billy Napier fan ever since he was at Louisiana. Again, this is becoming my new trademark sentence. John didn't remember this, but we've had him on as our guest and interviewed him before.
Yeah.
But it's just not getting done at Florida. Had a big finish last year. Now they got, they lose to South Florida. Now they've got a crusher of a schedule. Here's what we're picking up, who may be the name to get at Florida.
Oh,
and that's Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning, yeah.
From Oregon. Oregon's got a ton of money, ton of NIL, ton of revenue share money and all that. Oregon is prepared to pay for players, and they've gotten a lot of good ones. But the word is that Lanning, he's not a West Coast guy. It's a beautiful place, but Oregon is in the Big Ten now, John. And it may be a little bit more difficult for him personally and family life and all that to build him when you're having to truck them to Rutgers every other year. Or now they got to play Michigan State on the road and all that. Florida.
East Lansing. Ugh.
I'm telling you, or West Lafayette, Indiana, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
So Florida may be of interest for him. I'm sure that they're smart, that Florida would be interested in him.
Yeah.
He's a great young coach. But the word is that he may be ready to get in with the big boys, so to speak, at a place where.
Look out for that.
Yeah, so that's something to look at.
Look out for that. So, Barry, I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly, because I don't think I am. Auburn and college sports, what ifs? That led off Phillips' musings today.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, tongue pop. That was a good one.
What if Rich Rodriguez had not backed out after accepting the Alabama head coaching position after the 06 season, leading to the hiring of Nick Saban? Philip.
It's a good question. Philip loves him some questions.
Just go to the library, get the microfiche out, and look up the late, great Cecil Hertz columns about these subjects. He'll explain it all to you.
Yep.
He'll explain it all to you, how that played out.
Wait a minute. Rich Rodriguez, popular lore tells us that his wife, her name's Rita, famously, said, "Ooh, Tuscaloosa, gross."
Yeah.
And he had already verbally agreed to it. He came back and said, "Nope, can't do it. Just can't do it." And Alabama then said, "Fine.
Yeah.
We'll just go hire the best college football coach in the history of the sport." That's not an accurate representation of the fact.
No. They weren't caught flat-footed and say, "Oh no, what do we do now? Oh well, let's go get Nick Saban." Those wheels were already in motion long before Rich Rod got his lip poked out when he went back to Mal Moore wanting more money, and Mal said, "I'll see what the board of trustees has to say about that," knowing well he was never going to tell the board of trustees that Rich Rod wanted more money because he was already working Nick Saban. That was his number one target. Rich Rod was a fail-safe fallback candidate. But no,
but they go to Rich Rod first. They see. That's what I've heard. I've heard this.
Who said they went to him first?
Did he not have a job offer to accept?
Who said they went to him first, though?
Who said?
Yeah.
Did he not say that?
Did he? Did Rich Rod say that they came to me before they came to Nick Saban? They were already working Nick Saban behind the scenes.
Oh, so he was just, "Hey, Rich, how would you like to be the head coach at Alabama? How would you like to lead the
Crimson Tide?" So if it does fall flat and it doesn't materialize with Saban, oh, yeah, Rich Rod, you were our guy from the – love you. Come on over here. What are you talking about, buddy? Yeah. So Cecil's written about it.
That's a very good story. That's a very good – if I was looking to save face, I would come up with a story like that. That's a really good – we never really offered him
So you think
job.
when Rich Rod allegedly backed out that they just immediately went, well, let's just go talk to Nick Saban?
That's what the legend is that that's the reason why Mal went down, parked his behind in the living room with Miss Terry and, stayed on the tarmac for a long time, because at that point he was out of options, right?
Mal and Jimmy Sexton
on that plane coming back without Nick Saban on it with you.
Mal and Jimmy Sexton, the Nick Saban conversation was going on before the Rich Rodriguez backed out. There again, Cecil Earth has written all about it. It's very simple to find the information.
Microfiche?
Remember that? That was. Remember, you had to go to the library and look something up, and kids today don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. It brings back memories too, Mike.
I never knew Auburn was interested in wanting to hire Josh Heupel.
I did not either. That one was news to me as well. This is another Philippism. What if Auburn had hired Josh Heupel, which it assuredly could have done?
Yep.
Instead of Brian Harsin.
Yeah, that was news to me. Also, what if Auburn had hired Kirby Smart? Well, they could have if they let him know what was going on with the NCAA, but they went, not letting you see that. Now, wait a minute.
No.
You want me to step in and coach your football program without any idea what could happen the next day after I accept the job? I think I need to kind of know what I'm in for here. Nope, can't let you see that.
Dad, sorry about that. Sorry as heck, but do you expect us to welcome in the defensive coordinator of our biggest rival and open up the books for him? No.
Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in that one
this
anymore.
Job or you're not.
Yeah. We want you to come work here. Now, the SEC might yank our license next week, but come work at this station for us. What do you say?
This is a little bit more plausible that they would not open up every detail of their impending NCAA sanctions or NCAA investigation to the defensive coordinator at a rival school. That's a little bit more easy to believe than we never offered Rich Rodriguez. We were stringing him along. This is John and High School.
I never said that. Yeah, I mean, there were certainly some financial terms on the table. No doubt.
That would constitute an offer.
But look, this is business. You kind of drag these people along as your safety valve, knowing this is the guy you want all along.
Yeah, baby, you're the one I want to take to the prom. Yeah, who is that?
I mean, you want to go out with that hottie, but you got to have this brunette in your back pocket just in case. And if she never knew about it and the blonde turns you down, honey, baby, I love you. Come on, I wasn't interested in her.
Rich Rod says, yeah, Mal, gosh, I got some bad news. Rita and I talked it over, and we've decided we're going to have to turn down the offer. I'm really sorry. Hello?
Well, you know what, Mal? Hey,
are you still there?
In negotiations, hey, Rich, if that's the way, that's fine with us.
Yeah.
If you want to present it like that, if it makes you look better and it saves face and you don't walk away with egg on your face, go for it.
Yeah.
Yes,
that doesn't mean we still can't be friends, Rich.
Yeah.
Hey, stay in touch.
We are okay if you're going to back out on us. We're okay with that. We understand. We want everything to be fine between us. So if you want the world to know that you backed out, we're good with it. All knowing, because the guy we're getting is a heck of a lot better than you. So if that makes you happy, we're okay with that. Yes, you turned us down.
Almost believe in that. Really close. That almost talked me into it. Almost.
So I did not know this either.
Okay.
Stephen Leith wanted to fire Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, that was during that time whenever Bruce was not cooperating with the NCAA investigation. And Stephen Leith wanted to fire him. This was after the Chuck Person stuff and all of that. What if Tommy Tuberville had not inexplicably fired Al Borges in 2007 and hired Tony Franklin?
Was it inexplicably? I thought he just fired him.
He was not doing a very good job. Now, Tubbs, love him, but he never should have hired Tony Franklin. Now, I love Tony Franklin. Tony Franklin is a friend of mine. He used to coach, be the offense coordinator at Troy, and his office was right beside mine. But Tommy Tuberville didn't believe in the offense. Tony Franklin will tell you that. He said, I do one thing. I run one kind of offense. I've written books about it. I've given seminars about it. That's what I know how to do. Tuberville hired me and wanted me to do something else. I've never done anything else. So, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I wonder if it was inexplicably. Well, so as I've said many a time, there's 4, 5, 6 things that I want to know at the pearly gates. I got a feeling Barry's going to say, "Hey, can you smooth out this Rich Rod story for me? How did that really play out?"
I want to know because I'm just close to maybe believing it. I absolutely believe what Rodney said about Ken Donahue. Maybe he didn't say that. That would not be the smartest thing in the world to do.
No, you're right.
John is the king of the art of negotiation. He'll tell somebody, yeah, you got no chance. But hey, we'd love to have you someday.
If somebody texts me, go, "Hey man, you want to play golf Sunday?" My initial reaction is, "Oh yeah, sure, I'd love to." It's like, let me get back to you, because you want to make sure you're not missing out on a better offer.
That's right. Yeah.
Let me get back to you on that. I got to button up a couple of things, which actually means, do I really want to play with y'all? I mean,
if there's somebody else out there, I sure would like to hear from them pretty soon. Well,
real quick before we go to a break, because I'm going to get this real quick, because I know we're behind on the Phantoms Daily Dog, and we got to get to the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Woo, that was a lot. Barry, it was a little nail biting situation last night. We had to go to extra innings. We had to go to bonus baseball last night.
Yep.
But we pulled it through. In the bottom of the 10th, the Baltimore Orioles at plus 130 at home beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Phantoms Daily Dog, third baseball winner in a row this week.
This is where little immature 9-year-old Johnny Longshore likes it. It was a walk-off single from Dylan Beavers.
Yeah. Yes.
See?
Yes,
I knew he'd giggle. I knew he'd chuckle about Dylan Beavers.
Yeah. The only problem, Barry, I had to wait
single
all night and then extra innings.
Walk-off single, bottom of the 10th. Baltimore a winner. 2-1 over the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's what we're looking for. But Barry, I like those games where they put 3 up in the bottom of the first. Then I feel a lot better.
Yeah. Let's have a few of those.
All right. So tonight, I know
wide open card tonight. Lots to choose from.
Phantom, you got to go back to baseball. You're red hot. Hey, man, I hear what you're saying. But it's getaway day. Not as many games in the major leagues today. So I'm a little weary on some of those matchups. But, Barry, I do like a matchup in Green Bay, Wisconsin tonight. I do like this one. Is Green Bay really as good as we think they are after they beat Detroit last week?
Well,
really?
The odds makers seem to think so. Right. They're hosting the Commanders on the very first Thursday night football game on Prime this season. 2 NFC contenders.
That's right.
Both took care of business with pretty solid wins in week 1. Commanders at the Packers tonight.
Yeah, they really did. Short week for both of them. But I like where we are here in the position of that hook. The Redskins catching 3.5 tonight. That half point could be big in a league that is games are settled by a field goal or less the majority of the time. We're grabbing that 3.5 on the road tonight, Barry, as the Redskins go into Lambeau and play Green Bay. Short week, as I mentioned. Is it going to be as electric after the first home game last week? Kind of like Auburn this week, second home game. Could be a little flat. I'm expecting Green Bay to be a little flat there as well. Grabbing the points NFL Redskins plus the 3.5, or whatever they call now, Commanders. 3.5 catching against the Packers. And to be clear, Barry, I got to admit, I got to become clean. I did have trouble remembering who Alabama played last week. I completely forgot. There was an 8-second pause. I'm thinking, who did they play?
Yeah. John was like that in the second half. Who are they playing? Hang on. Yeah. Well, that's our Phantom Daily Dog. When we come back, the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel is next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Score big savings at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Prattville during the kickoff savings sales event. New 2025 Ram 1500s up to $21,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% APR for 72 months or 1.9% APR for 72 months. It's your choice. New 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokees up to $11,000 off MSRP. New 2025 Jeep Wranglers up to $14,000 off MSRP or 1.9% APR for 72 months. New 2025 Jeep Gladiators up to $13,000 off MSRP or 4.9% APR for 72 months. And Ram 2500s up to $14,000 off MSRP. Alabama and Northwest Florida's largest volume Ram dealer is in Prattville at Stivers CDJR, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs. 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and at stiverscdjr.com. Okay, we're back at it about 12 minutes to the top of the hour. Don't forget, tomorrow we're at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Come by and see us. Great lineup of trucks, cars, and SUVs at Stivers in Montgomery.
Here we go. You know this setup. It's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. Gurn gets a lot of minutes into his research of topics. Doesn't tell me and John a word about it. We don't know the first thing about it. We'll take a look at it. We'll either know about it or we won't. We'll have a guess about it or we won't. And it's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino off exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
I want to make a suggestion, and I don't know how the panel works, but can we get like a purple panel? Can we get like a multicolored panel with some designs on it? You know, like a
like the old Montreal Expos hat.
Yeah, or maybe say a panel with
checkerboard.
Checkerboard.
You want the Tennessee checkerboard end zone panel.
I'm just some suggestions. You know, I'm looking at all the colors. I'm thinking, I've never seen a purple panel on the wheel. We've just introduced
Giorgio Armani
panel
over here.
But I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility.
Gianni Versace Longshore. Well, he won't dress it up. All right, here we go.
But if you go stripes, they got to be diagonal because horizontal make you look bigger or something. I'm told.
Yeah, it makes you look fat.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Gurn, load that baby
Spin
up.
away. Look at all this, man. Gee whiz.
That's 6. Plenty of time.
Spin it away. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama.
Oh, do we want to revisit this topic? Because John can spend an hour and a half on it, top of his head.
Yeah.
Bad bets.
Yeah.
He's made them. He's lost them, but he's taken advantage of a few of them.
You got that right.
Yeah, Tua was not good. Miami may be the worst team in the NFL, not known as the New Orleans
Okay.
Saints.
Yeah. Gotta clear that up.
Yeah, he said, I saw quarterback play that was less to be desired on Sunday. He's the franchise quarterback. He makes $53 million a year. He says, quote, I know he's very much like most quarterbacks. When you are putting a lot of work into something and your first time doing it for 4 quarters in months, you're not at your best. I don't want to make the same mistakes twice. He and everybody else has to be better. Tua has been good. His numbers have been good. He led the NFL in passing yardage one year, but number one, he was not good in and of himself, and the Dolphins lost last week. Number two, he ain't got a whole lot of help. Was it Luganbill who was telling us, man, the Dolphins, man, they got to get through that offseason. Everybody's unhappy. Everybody's divisive. Tyreek Hill wants to go. The linebackers holding out. They got somebody needs to put up or shut up.
Yeah, I think it was C.J. Duncan yesterday telling us about that.
Exactly.
And I wonder, does he need better personnel around him? We saw Tua in college. He had great personnel. Obviously had better personnel at Alabama than he does with the Dolphins. Similar to what someone said years ago about Alabama's got better wide receivers than the New England Patriots.
Which was not true then. It's not true now. But Tua in that game against the Colts win it by 27.
Yeah.
And boy, Tua definitely contributed to it. Got to get better, no question.
Yes, he does.
All right.
Okay, let's spin away once more. It is the Victoryland 777 topic wheel where you can be a winner too. Open 365 24/7.
2 in a row, poor showing. These are good.
Yeah. All right.
All right. We may end up with poor showing.
Okay.
Poor showing.
Poor showing. That was Alabama at Florida State, but that was 2 weeks ago. That can't be it today.
Yeah. The Yankees not playing real well. The Tigers are. Yankees bullpen is horrendous. They're
11-1 is like 35-3 in a football game.
37-0 in college football. The thing is that game was scoreless for the first 4 innings. Detroit had a 1-0 lead after 7. I mean, it was a tight one after 7 innings, and then New York went to their bullpen.
Ooh.
And that bullpen gave up 8 runs.
Not good.
In the final 3 innings. Detroit actually led 3-0. They gave up 8 runs in the final 2 innings, 11-1 final score. The Yankees, they have got a lot of talent. They sure paid for a lot of them. They need to spend a little bit of money on the bullpen because they were horrendous and have been for a little while now.
Tough night for the Pinstripes.
Ooh, poor showing.
Yes. All right, let's see what else we got up on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. A lot of good topics here today. 4 more left.
I bet I know what Mac Attack is about.
Mac Attack.
Turned down, maybe about Rich Rodriguez here. We'll see, because he actually did turn Alabama down. Turned down. Marriott. NHL history. Kirill Kaprizov.
Yep.
8 years, $128 million from Minnesota.
Sheesh.
John says, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're paying somebody $128 million in hockey? The thing is he wants more money, and he wants to get out of Minnesota. His kid's good. Kaprizov is one of the bright young stars in the NHL. I'd take that money if I was him. I just think he wants out of Minnesota more than anything else.
I don't blame him.
Hockey.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Okay. All right.
Greg Byrne needs to cancel that series with Minnesota. Now that I'm thinking about it.
You can get a young player in the NHL reference on this program, and it can immediately go to college football with my co-host.
Yeah.
You think it's easy to do?
Yeah,
He has to work at it.
That's right.
Practice.
That's not 180,000, but hey, boom.
128 million is pretty good. Yeah.
All right. I work in a cam reference too. All right. 3 more to go.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going on here. Blue, red, yellow. Victoryland 777 topic wheel is going to land on
Mac Attack.
Mac Attack.
Yeah, evidently what we talked about yesterday with Robert Kahn about Brock Purdy's toe injury. He's definitely going to miss 3 weeks.
Okay.
He may miss 5. He's on injured reserve, and that means Mac Jones.
Well, Barry, I hate to say this. I hate to pile on, but if you're going to start your backup quarterback, why not against the Saints? Sounds like a pretty good team to get Mac Jones a little confidence.
You know, just to hand it off a few times, throw to what will definitely be some wide open wide receivers running free in the Saints secondary. Get the kinks out a little bit, and then we'll play real football the week after. Sounds like a good plan.
Timing's everything. I've always said it.
That's right.
Just ask Rich Rod. Let's go back to the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. 2 more to go.
Here. Yep. We may have to take a break and then get to the last one coming up. Yeah.
I was just having so much fun. I forgot about the break. Glad you reminded me.
Yep. All right.
Not
often.
Yep.
Not often. Oh, yeah. The Brewers have the best record in Major League. It's the best story out there because they're not paying a ton of money. They don't have the biggest stars. They got a few, but they're playing better baseball than anybody else in the major leagues. Love that story. They end up losing at Texas. They get swept by the Rangers.
Wow, man. Tough.
I know what the question is going to be, and no, I do not know how many times the Braves have been swept this year, but it has been a lot.
I wouldn't even think about it. Speaking of the Braves win last night.
No, they did not. Braves fall yesterday.
Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, appreciate you asking.
Yeah.
The Braves fall to the Cubs in Atlanta yesterday. 3-2 was the final score there. National League reigning Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale gets the loss. He's now 5-5, but the ERA is 2.52. It ain't his fault. Take a break. Back quick. Longshore and McKnight in association Yellowhammer News presented Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
We are back here ready to go. One more topic on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Let's knock it out. What we got?
Bad gamble. We've already had bad bets. Now bad gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Something went wrong.
Ooh, let's see.
All right.
Got to spin it to my. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. This is 3 banned for life in NCAA basketball. I don't know the name. Steven Vasquez, Jalen Weaver, Michael Robinson played at Fresno State and San Diego State. Absolutely did it. Absolutely manipulated it. There is no question about it. I've read the investigation on that. Did it. Guilty.
Done.
Now they're never going to play college basketball again. I'm telling you, people, don't mess around with it. If you're a student athlete, they're going to catch you. If you're a head baseball coach at an in-state institution, don't Do it. Words to the wolf.
Yeah, they're gonna get you, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so Barry, great stuff with Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover. Also, Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market tomorrow.
On location.
From Stivers Ford Montgomery, we'll check in with Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. I believe the Phantom will drop by tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
And our man Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet. And, of course, get your score picks in for Auburn and South Alabama, Alabama and Wisconsin. If you hit that exact score of one of those two games, you are going to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500 from Mark Reed's Exquisite Jewelry. Just enter your picks at Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com.
Many thanks to Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com, for joining us. Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com. Many thanks to our esteemed producer, Gurn Jr. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.